6 years of learning French in school, and I still can't call myself fluent. So if you've ever taken French in the US, you probably know the struggle. And today I'm going to be breaking down why that happens, what the research says, and how I'm switching up my strategy to finally get fluent. What did I actually take away from all those years of French class? The alphabet song, a few foods, and the pronouns j'ai, tu, il, elle, on,
vu, il, elle.
But besides singing the alphabet, saying bonjour, and for whatever reason getting lost why the number 90 is 90, what else do you remember? Here's the truth. After 6 to 7 years of required language courses from high school to college, many of us are still at embarrassingly low comprehension and speaking levels. So why? So my assumptions: first, classes were way too grammar and writing focused. I was trained to overuse Google Translate, and now with AI's tools, students probably lean on tech even more. Second, I only practiced French in the classroom, never in real life. And since I studied just to pass exams, I didn't actually retain much. So, turns out, research backs me up, at least partially. A George Washington University study found US French classes emphasize grammar, writing, and recognition of vocab over conversational skills, which can build passive knowledge, but it's not really active fluency, that day-to-day conversation that you'd be having as a regular person. Other factors: students usually start language instruction late with minimal hours per week to learn. Additionally, schools are struggling to recruit language teachers, which means larger classes, or in my case, in high school, no teacher at all. My beloved French teacher who brought us treats and even let us make crepes in the classroom retired, and we got stuck with an online module way before remote learning was normal. Compared to Europe, yeah, the US is just as far behind in language learning overall. This infographic kind of shows that. Yeah, kind of bleak, but don't lose hope yet. Here's why I haven't given up. Imagine this: you grow up in Ethiopia speaking Amharic, Oromo, English, and even being able to pick up some Swahili and Somali because you live near the border of Ethiopia and Kenya. Then you move to the US, grow a love for reading, and double down on English. But you forget the rest. Yeah. So years later, you start working as a home health aide part-time for an Ethiopian elderly woman, and she speaks zero English, right? Suddenly you have to use Amharic for hours every week. So that's the shopping. You have to figure out how to say this is this amount. So you gotta know the numbers, the appointments. You gotta know what is the back, what is the head, what is all the features of the body, and conversations. And I'm telling y'all, like, these doctors were asking me to describe her symptoms, but how am I gonna say sharp versus aching pain when I don't even know the word for knee? Now I know it's gourbet, but nonetheless, pretty much within 6 months, I was speaking better Amharic than I ever did French, despite never opening a textbook or taking a class. I'm still not fluent in Amharic, but I can spark up a conversation and maintain it for the most part. And that experience reignited my love for languages. It showed me that fluency comes from immersion and not just memorizing rules. So while I can still develop and improve my Amharic by understanding the grammar, if someone's speaking to me on a bus or speaking Amharic, I can at least pick up what they're saying and be able to fend for myself, pretty much. So that's pretty much it for the little hope break. Let's get back to the video. Here's how I'm switching it up. I'm still using grammar books. Grammar is important. This is the book that I'll be utilizing, and I've already gone a little ways in, so there'll be some exercises that I'll be able to do, practice my vocab, and figure out what the heck a definitive and indefinite article is, because I couldn't tell you. And one of the struggles that I consistently had, even with Amharic, is that while I can phrase some words together, my grammar sucks. So I never know how to address people correctly based on their gender, understand present or past tense. And this may seem small in the day to day because they'll be able to understand you, but in reality, you're just not really understanding the language at its full breadth or level. 2, flashcards and children's books. Applying what I learned as a little girl. So we're going to continue developing our vocabulary through flashcards and children's books. I actually did a video on this a few months ago on my Instagram, which you can check out, but I ended up not even reading those books. I know, to be frank. But we're bringing it back. We learn. And then thirdly, this is what I would call the French media diet. So music, YouTube, the shows that you watch, you're going to be living, breathing the language. A channel that I've been loving is Fluent French on YouTube because they have like the children's shows that you'd watch. They have like SpongeBob, Simpsons. Those are the ones that I've been watching recently. And then they have the subtitles directly underneath, so you'll be able to watch it. They'll tell you the vocabulary, and then you rewatch it without the subtitles. So just a great way to get that practice. Some really good shows are Lupin on Netflix based on the books. And recently I started The Residence with French dubbing. It's an English show, but you can watch it in French. It's a good show. And this is really great because I already enjoy movies and shows. So I might as well practice my pronunciation in the process and see how those sentences are structured. And then finally, that speaking practice. This is really what I would deem the scariest part of learning a language, is using it and getting in front of people that you're not familiar with. So funny enough, even as a child, I read a lot of books, but I was practically mute for some time because it was overwhelming keeping up with English. And then one day I just popped out speaking far more. But we're not going to do that. We're not going to mute ourselves, We're going to talk with either some native speakers, join a French club, maybe find a friend that also wants to learn with you. And if you can't find those options, you could also use the ChatGPT audio function. But I'm not going to lie, ChatB, you got to say, like, I'm basic. I'm beneath the ground in what I understand, because she goes way too fast. But anyways, if you want to join me, whether for French, Amharic, or Oromo, drop a comment. I'll also be posting progress updates on Instagram. If you love learning across different subjects, enjoy cooking, or want to build wealth by building knowledge, you found the right channel. I'm Gouye, and this was Learn With Me, Episode 1, French Fluency. Merci beaucoup, and I'll see you in the next one. Au revoir!